Hello. So in this video, I'm going to give a book recommendation for students of civil rights in the USA. So if you're a GCSE history student, an A-level history student, or a student in undergrad at university, and you want a book on civil rights, I've got one that I strongly recommend. Obviously, I've got a few of them here that I've read. There's lots and lots of books on civil rights that you can read. And if there's specific things that you're interested in, more modern civil rights, or perhaps going back to Reconstruction or even before that, during slavery times, obviously you can, there's lots and lots of books on that. But this one that I'm going to recommend covers the period from 1865 all the way to 2009. And that is this one, We Ain't What We Ought to Be, by Stephen Tuck. So this is my recommendation for the study of civil rights. If you're a student, I think it's a really, really good comprehensive study which goes through the whole period from, as it says on the cover, from emancipation to Obama, in really fantastic detail. So Stephen Tuck is a professor of modern history at Oxford University, and he focuses on civil rights. And this book covers the whole period from emancipation all the way to the inauguration of Obama, covering Reconstruction, the implementation of Jim Crow, the Great Migration, World War I, World War II. Obviously, between that, you've got the New Deal, and then you've got the Civil Rights Movement, the Black Power movement, then into the kind of 80s and 90s, and ending with the election and inauguration of Obama. So the reason why I like this book so much is that I think it's incredibly well written. It's a really, really excellent kind of narrative that Stephen Tuck has put together here. And he comes at it from multiple different angles. So you get much more than a kind of just traditional story of civil rights. It's really, really well researched. So there's lots of, primary sources, quotes and things used in here, newspaper reports and things that are in here that really illuminated it for me, that I wasn't aware of some of these things when I first read this. The other great thing about this is that you can read it cover to cover. As I said, it does offer a kind of narrative, but you can also dip into it. So the chapters, for example, just having a quick look at the chapters here, cover, the first chapter is on the Civil War, the second chapter is on Reconstruction. And so it's really nicely broken down. Chapter 5 is World War I and the Great Migration. Chapter 6 is Harlem Renaissance, kind of 1920s and 30s. So you can just dip into this if you don't want to read it cover to cover. Let's have a look at this, 420 pages. So it's significant, but not the longest book. So you might want to kind of dip into it. Just to give you an insight into some of it, and it's so well written, it will really, pick up your analysis. You'll really feel like your analysis is being developed just by reading this. So I'm just going to read a quick section of this, just where Stephen Tuck is talking about Martin Luther King, and he's talking about the importance of King. So he's saying what King said and what he believed mattered. Because of King, media coverage of the movement accentuated nonviolence, the positive role of religion, set piece confrontations, male and middle class leadership, calls for integration, and an optimistic faith in the potential role of government. One frustrated activist reckoned that white people thought demonstrators just wanted the right to hug a white person. In fact, King also spoke out for economic justice and human rights. He called for economic power in Montgomery and a Bill of Rights for the disadvantaged in Birmingham. So you can see how Stephen Tuck in this book is not just on the surface level, this is what Martin Luther King wanted. It's going beyond that, constantly going beyond that, and really getting to grips with the details. So this is my civil rights book recommendation for students of civil rights. As I said, GCSE, A-level, even undergrad. I'd strongly recommend this if you're studying civil rights. If you've got any recommendations of civil rights books, please leave a comment, or any questions about this or any other books maybe you can see here, any other books you want me to have a go at reviewing, please leave a comment. Thanks so much.